Good morning, students. So, welcome to this online enrichment class of DAV Public School Gumla. Today, I am here with the graph of important functions. This is a very important topic to understand mathematics or functions in a better way. You must understand the graphs of various functions. I have this kind of functions with me. First, we'll discuss regarding a constant function. Then we'll discuss regarding linear function. Constant function is defined as fx equals to c. Then linear function. Then we'll discuss regarding quadratic function. Then we'll discuss regarding cubic function. Here cubic function definition is ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d, but a must not be equal to 0. If a will be 0, it will become a quadratic function. Then we'll discuss regarding trigonometric functions. Then we'll discuss logarithm functions, and at last we'll have the discussion on exponential functions. So let us proceed first with your constant functions. So look at this. This is our number one function, that is constant function. By definition, constant function is f of x is any constant where c is a constant. So for plotting graph, you always replace y by f of x. Y of f of x equals to y. So y will be c. Let us take, I will take it as 2. That means whatever value of x is, I should take always y must be equal to 2. So let me plot the table of values before you. Here look at this. This is x and this is fx or y, right? X 0, 1, 2, I will take two values, and I have told whatever value of x is, f of x is always equal to 2. That means this is 2, this is 2, as well as this is 2. Okay, now let me plot the graph. For the graph, what I will do, we'll just draw a straight line like this. This is our y-axis and this is our x-axis. If I take like this is x, then you take two values 1, 2, 3. This is also two value 1, 2 and 3. So this is 1, 2 and 3, right? Similarly here also 1, 2 and 3. So for 0 I will have 2. For 1 I will also have 2. For 2 also I will have 2. So then I will join them. After joining I will have the graph of this function, right? So let me join this one. This is the graph of f of x equals to 2. That means it is a graph which is parallel to x-axis. So always remember, the graph of a constant function is always parallel to the x-axis. So likewise, let us proceed towards the algebraic functions. As I have told, your algebraic functions are classified into three types. One is linear, another one is quadratic, another one is cubic function. So one by one I will discuss regarding their graphs. So our number 2 function is your linear function. By definition, your linear function is always of the form f of x equals to ax plus b, where a is not equal to 0. Then if I take some particular values of a and b, suppose I will have the function, this one is 2x plus 3. Then this is y. Then you plot the table of values. For the table of values, like this is x and this is y. For x0 y will be 3, for x1 y will be equal to 5. Okay, so now let me plot the graph. This is our x-axis, sorry, y-axis, and this is our x-axis. Then we'll draw the points. The points are like this. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. this is also 1 2 3 and 4. Similarly, for 0 I will place the point. For 0 I will have 3, right? So if I have for 0 3, then this point is there, and for 1 this is 5. So this is suppose 5. For 1 I will have the point 5. So this point is 0 3 and this point is 1 comma 5. Then you join them. So if I join, this is a straight line. So the word linear has also come from the word line. So hence it is a straight line, and this is the graph of y equals to ax plus b for any a and b, whatever. In this case I have take a is 2 and b is 3. So the graph of linear function is a straight line, remember, right? Next, let us proceed further towards a quadratic function. It's a bit tricky, you should try to understand it. Let me define first a quadratic function, right? This is our number 3 quadratic function. The standard form is, it is y which is f of x, and it is of the form ax square plus bx plus c, where a is not equal to 0. So here graph, if I plot it, it is obviously of the form parabola. Parabola is coming because parabola has two types of equation, either x square equals to 4ay or y square equals to 4x. So the graph will be parabolic. Why parabolic? Because power of x will be always in 2 and power of y will always be in 1. But the parabolic form, there are various kind of parabola: left parabola, right parabola, or upward parabola, or downward parabola. So this parabola, remember, it is always symmetric about y axis. So it is either upward or downward. This is determined whether it will be upward or downward by the sign of A and C. If I take here A and C, then definitely if A is greater than 0, then it will be upward, and if A is less than 0, then the parabola will become downward parabola. But for that, B and C must be of same sign. So B and C must be positive. Both A, B, C and positive. Here also B and C must be positive. So after making B and C positive, you have to see whether A is greater than 0 and A is less than 0. If A is greater than 0, it will be an upward parabola. If A is less than 0, then it will be a downward parabola. So remember this form: if I have x square equals to 4ay, or y is positive whole square in this side, then it is upward, and y is negative whole square this side, then it will be downward. This is the basic concept regarding upward and downward parabola. Okay, so now let me tell you how to plot this graph. So for that, let me take an equation. For example, if I take y equals to x square plus 4x plus 3, suppose, then you convert the right hand side into a complete square. Write like this: 2 into x into 2, then plus 2 square I need, then minus 2 square plus 3, then I'll have y equals to, this 3 will give you x plus 2 whole square, then this is minus 4 plus 3, which is minus 1, then I'll have y plus 1, it is equal to x plus 2 whole square. So you write it like this: y minus minus 1, it is equal to x minus minus 2 its whole square. So definitely here sign of x, it is positive, therefore it is an upward parabola. Then here vertex of that parabola is whatever is subtracted from x, that is minus 2, and whatever subtracted from y, that is minus 1. So it is an upward parabola having vertex at minus 2 and minus 1. So let me plot it. Plotting like this. here it is. So if I plot it in this manner, this is 1 2 minus 1 and minus 2, then this is minus 1, this is also minus 2, so minus 2 minus 1 is the parabola and it is an upward parabola. So let me extend this line. Here the vertex is at this point and it is an upward parabola, so the shape of the parabola will look like this. This is the vertex and it is symmetric like this. Okay, so I think this is clear to you. So the length is here, it is an upward parabola, the shape first I have to determine, and the vertex is at minus 2 and minus 1. So this is how we draw a equation or a graph of quadratic function. Now let us move towards a cubic function. So for a cubic function the graph will be like this. Let us see. This is our number 3 function, which is a cubic function. Sorry, number 4 it is, not 3. Cubic function by definition it is of this form: f of x, it is equal to ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d. Here also a is not equal to 0. Now if it is a cubic form, remember there are two turning points. Look at a parabola. Let's go back. Here the parabola has only one turning point and this point is the turning point of this parabola. Okay, so parabola has one turning point, and for a cubic equation I will have two turning points. So it is not possible to make the table over here because these values are very large. So let me show how we can plot a graph having two turning points and number of zeros must be 3. So I will first take the graph like this. This is my y-axis and this is the x-axis. Okay, let me extend it in both the directions so that you will understand it in the proper way. Okay, now like this. So as I have told, it must have two turning points. Let me tell regarding this curve. Look at this curve. Here it is turning at this point. Also it is turning at this point. So hence the number of turning points are 2. And here also you see at this point it is meeting x-axis, this point it is meeting x-axis, it is also meeting this point as at the x-axis. Hence the number of turning points is 2, but the number of times it is crossing the x-axis it is always 3. But it is not that it will always cross x-axis 3 times. If there are real zeros, then only it will cross x-axis 3 times. But this is the shape of your cubic polynomial or cubic function. Sometimes we may get like this also, like this. Here you see there are two turning points, 1 and 2, but it is not meeting x-axis 3 times. That means there is only one real zero. This point means real zero, and there are other two zeros are imaginary zeros. But here we will have 3 real zeros. I repeat, here I will have 3 real zeros, but here I have one real zero, and other two zeros are imaginary. So this is the concept of cubic function and its graph. Remember, a quadratic function turns, or graph of a quadratic function turns only once, but the graph of a cubic function, it turns 2 times. Okay, now let us proceed to the big one, that is trigonometric function. So let me start this one. This is number 5, trigonometric function. So for trigonometric function, I will give the or take the values in terms of radians. Take x-axis values in radians. Radian means in terms of pi or pi by 2 you have to take it. So now if I have x-axis in terms of radians, then I will plot. For suppose I will first start with f of x, it is equal to sin x. So for f of x equals to sin x, I have to see that your x-axis values must be in radians. So what I will do, I will first draw like this. Well, I need the left hand side also, so I will do it like this. Then I will take the values in terms of radian as I have suggested. So you take it in this way, right? If I take in terms of radians, then this will be, suppose this point is pi by 2, this point is pi, this point is 3 pi by 2, and at last this point will be 2 pi. Okay, this is not clearly visible, so I will take another ink for this. So what we'll do, this is suppose pi by 2, this point is pi, this point is 3 pi by 2, and at last this point will be 2 pi. Similarly the negative values I will take it in this side, minus pi by 2, minus pi, and this is minus 3 pi by 2, and at last minus 2 pi. Then if I plot the table of values, this is your plus 1 and this is your minus 1, right? Now at 0 sign attains 0, right? Next at pi by 2 sign attains the value 1. Then at pi again it becomes 0. At 3 pi by 2 it attains the value minus 1. At 2 pi it becomes 0. So if I plot it, the plotting will be in this way, right? At pi then it will move like this, 3 pi by 2, and at last it will be 2 pi. Okay, so this curve is a smooth curve, like this it should go, right? Now if I continue on left hand side also, at the same time it will go like this. Okay, so let me tell you, take it once again. Yeah, so this curve is the curve of fx equals to sin x. So this is how we plot the graph of sin x. So but remember, the values in x-axis you must take it in terms of radians. Now let me plot the value of fx equals to cos x. If I plot it, then the same type of graph I will take first, right? And the same values also I will take here. This is 0, this is pi by 2, this is minus 1, and this is plus 1. Then again it is pi, this is 3 pi by 2, and at last it is 2 pi. Here also this is minus pi by 2, this is minus pi, this is minus 3 pi by 2, and minus 2 pi. Okay, now let us plot the graph. For the graph at 0 the cos value becomes 1, at pi by 2 it becomes 0, at pi it becomes minus 1, again at 3 pi by 2 it becomes 0, and again at 2 pi it becomes 1. Okay, so here similarly in this value minus pi by 2 the value will be 0, and minus pi it will be plus 1, minus 3 pi by 2, it will again become 0, and at minus 2 pi, cos of minus 2 pi, it is also cos 2 pi, which is equal to cos 0 and this. So now let us plot the graph like this, join it. The same thing you do it in this side also. Okay, so at minus pi the value will be not 1, it will be minus 1 actually, hence this is the graph like this. Now look at the difference between your sine graph and your cosine graph. So this is the graph of f of x equals to cos x. Now here the graph basically looks the same, but the starting point is different. So hence this is the graph of your cos x. Now similarly for tan x, let me plot the graph. So if I plot it for tan x, the graph will be looking like this. So this is the third subbit. It is f of x equals to tan x. So if I take tan x, then same thing, I will first plot it by taking this type of things. This is suppose your y axis and this is suppose your x axis, right? Then I will take the points. If I take the points, it will be like this, here also like this. Now here the value, suppose this point is pi by 2, this is pi, this is 3 pi by 2, and this is 2 pi, and it will continue. This is minus pi by 2, minus pi, minus 3 pi by 2. Okay, so now what you do, you draw two straight lines, dotted straight lines over here, and value of tan at 0, it is 0. At pi by 4 it is like this, then pi by 6 it will increase, then it will go on increasing like this. I repeat, at 0 the value is 0, at pi by 4 it is 1, then pi by 3, pi by 3 it is 60 degree, it will move to root 3, then the value will go on increasing like this, and at pi by 2 it will become infinity. Similarly in this side also it will go on decreasing in this way. Okay, so now if I join the points, look at the graph, how it will look like. It will never touch the line which is y equals to pi by 2, right? Similarly here also, if I have this or I have this side, then again here you see like this the graph will be, and here also the graph will be like this. So this is the graph of f of x equals to tan x. Very important one, you try to remember this graph, f of x equals to tan x. So these are the graphs of various trigonometric functions. The rest of the trigonometric function are left to you. You try to plot the graph, and if any doubt is there, you ask it to me. Then at last I will move to the logarithmic and exponential functions. Okay, so this is our number 7, which is f of x equals to log x. I can take any base, but I will take a known base, it is e. Okay, so let me tell how the value or table comes. Look at this. So this is x and this is fx, which is also equal to y. Now if I take e, then f of x log e base e, it will be equal to 1. Similarly if I take e square, that is 9 point something, sorry 4 point something, it will come e square, then look at this, log e square base e, then I can take these 2 to the beginning, so it will be 2 log e base e, and log e base e value is 1, the value will be 2. Similarly if it is e cube, the value will be 3, and it will go on. So let me plot the graph. And remember, here I have mentioned an important thing, that here x must be greater than 0 and the base also must be greater than 0. That means there is no value or no portion of the graph or curve which is left in the negative side, hence a negative side of x. So let me add one more value over here. Suppose I will take here 1 by e, which is e to the power minus 1, log 1 by e base e, that is equal to log e to the power minus 1 base e, and it is equal to minus 1. Similarly 1 by e square, it will be minus 2. Okay, so let me plot the graphs. If I plot the graphs, then this is, suppose 1 2 and this is 3 and this is 4. Next this is minus 1 and also this is minus 2, this is 1 and this is 2. So if I go on plotting the graph, it will be like this, and at log 1 it becomes 0. So and at log e, suppose this is 1, then e, this is e square, this is e cube. At e it will become 1, e square it will become 2, e cube it will become 3. So I will be plotting the graph in this way. Like this. Okay, so let me see it carefully. The graph will be like this. And similarly, if I change the base, the shape will be, but the basic shape will be like this. Only look at this. This is 1 and it will cross it like this. This is the graph of y equals to log x. This is the graph of y equals to log x. And the base is e here I have taken, and you can take any base also, but provided they must be greater than 0. And today the last graph of today, that is exponential curves. So for that, let me take y equals to a to the power x, or in special case I will take y equals to e to the power x. Okay, so here it is very easy to plot x, and this will be f of x. So if it is minus 1, it will be 1 by e, minus 2 it will be 1 by e square. Similarly, if it is 0, it will be 1, and if it is 1, it will be e. If it will be 2, then it will become e square. Okay, so for that, what did I do? I'll plot it in this manner. Okay, now for 0 I will get the value 1, so let me mark those points. These are the points I am getting. This is minus 1, minus 2, this is 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So for minus 1 it will be a smaller value. Let me plot these points. For minus 1 it will be smaller, for minus 2 it will be still smaller, then for 0 it will become 1, then after 1 it will go on increasing, e square, e cube, like this. So the shape will be like this, then it will go on increasing, right? So this is the curve of f of x equals to e to the power x, or you can take any function as a to the power x also. Okay, so this is the graph of exponential functions. So this is the graphs actually gives us an idea that how to interpret a proper function. So whatever graphs today we have drawn, these are the various functions, and one by one you try to see it carefully and analyze it, and it helps us in answering many questions easily and understanding the concepts also easily. So I am giving the homework that you yourself today plot the graphs once again, right? Plot once again. So I hope in the next class I will be telling some of the uses how from the graph we can solve the questions very easily. That we will deal in the next class. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you.